Hey, what's up, Fight Freaks? It's the Combat Remix. Hosts of the show that brings diehard fans their MMA fix. We have an update regarding the Alex Periera allegations, featuring another video of Meredith Brown. Yeah, you guys remember her? Yeah, she sucks. But first, we need to mention this video's non-sponsor. Are dumb OnlyFans models that throw baseless accusations, making you wish that you could listen to a more traditional and conservative woman, but you also find Allie Beth Stuckley to be a little too popular? Well, then you should check out Christie's Corner, talking culture, Christianity, conservatism, and common sense. A link to the channel is in the description below. But we need to get back to the video, so let's get to it. Sucks. Now, before we get to any updates, I do want to go back to the original video and insert a small asterisk. I mentioned that Alex Periera denied these accusations when in reality, he himself didn't actually make any statements. Now, to be clear, it was actually Periera's translator that responded to the accusations in meme-like fashion, insinuating that she was a liar. And at this point, we're all about 99.9998% sure that that is in fact the case. But nonetheless, let's take a look at what she says in her most recent video regarding her accusations. Just a forewarning, the video has been sped up because she goes on for nearly 5 minutes and sometimes she talks so painstakingly slow.
I wrote a statement that I would like to share. I'm not sure if a lot of you are really going to care or even listen to what I have to say, but I just wanted to say it. And I wrote it down because my brain is just on overdrive these last couple days, and I just wanted to make sure that I said everything that I wanted to say. I'd like to start by saying that although I don't owe anyone an explanation, and it's Alex who should be explaining himself, I recognize that I made it a public matter when I shared my story on TikTok. And even though I was not anticipating anything that happened after I posted those videos, it's now become a lot more of a public matter than I was expecting. However, this does not scare me because I am not lying and I have nothing to hide. The biggest question I'm seeing is why didn't I file a police report? Unfortunately, I know firsthand how fucked up the system can be, and I wasn't sure I was ready to go down that route again and cause myself any further trauma. Growing up, I remember wishing so badly that the world could hear my story, and I thought that maybe they would care more than the authorities and somehow help me and my siblings and save us from the abuse that we were enduring. After giving up my entire childhood to a long, drawn-out court case against my biological parents, and convincing an entire jury, beyond reasonable doubt, that my mother was guilty and getting her sent to prison for her crimes, my father was able to make it all go away and get her out only months later because of his position of power and his money. All my life, I've watched as my abusers got away with their crimes simply because of their wealth and position of power. As someone who grew up a ward of the state, I guess I'd say I have enough experience to have lost a little faith in our judicial system. With that being said, if Alex does decide to take this to court, I don't know why he would do that because he knows he was guilty. If he does decide to take it to court, I'm fully prepared to prove beyond reasonable doubt that he did in fact prey on me and he did assault me. Secondly, I'd like to address the fake DM that's being reposted where I allegedly brag about doing this all as promotion for my job. That DM is not real. Believe it or not, I have more self-awareness than that. My Instagram is currently down because of the amount of people reporting it trying to silence me, even though I'm not the bad guy. Every time I've ever mentioned sexual assault to a man, their usual response is to cringe and become visibly uncomfortable. Never once did it cross my mind that me coming forward about being assaulted would result in me gaining subscribers on my page. For the last couple months, I've been under the impression that the second I came out about this, everyone would think I was gross and unfollow me, and I would lose everything I've worked so hard to build for myself. But it started impacting my mental health, and then started to impact my work, and at that point I no longer saw a point in staying quiet. Lastly, everyone has been asking why I haven't been addressing anyone's comments or questions. I've been avoiding my phone the last couple of days given the amount of violent threats and verbal abuse in my comments and my DMs. I have come too far and worked too hard to ever let anyone make me feel like I'm ugly or my life isn't worth anything. It makes me sad to live in a world where I'm the one being harassed and threatened because I exposed a man in a position of power as a predator, and he's being praised as a god, and it scares me that some of the men and women victim blaming me and idolizing my rapist are also having children. But I would hope that if your own child came to you and told you the same things that I did, that you would be more sympathetic and inclined to protect them instead of blaming them for failing to distinguish which men are safe and which men are not. And to the few people I've seen supporting me, thank you. You've helped me to continue to push through a very dark time in my life. and give me hope that there are still good people out there and the world isn't totally fucked.
Well, you heard it here, Fight Freaks. She's doubling down. She says it herself that, although she's skeptical that Alex Periera would take her to court, but if he did, she's really confident that she could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he's guilty, and she wouldn't have any repercussions coming towards her. But if I had to guess, she's really hiding behind that skepticism that Periera would even take her to court. But that's just my opinion. And it may just be a point she threw out there to distract us, but I will admit I was a little bit curious when she did mention that she was comparing this whole situation to a court case she had with her own parents. And not to get sidetracked, but to all my internet sleuthers out there, let's do a little detective work and see if we can see if she's lying about this or not. Well, I was originally going to rip her a new asshole when she made the comment essentially saying that people like me scare her because we don't believe her story and we have children.
I exposed a man in a position of power as a predator, and he's being praised as a god, and it scares me that some of the men and women victim blaming me and idolizing my rapist are also having children.
But all I'm going to say is that it actually relieves me to know that you're probably not going to have any. Oh, and Meredith, how do you feel now that your friend had completely refuted your story about her feeling sad and scared, and she was right next to you crying, practically in tears, you said?
He eventually pulls my underwear and my pants down to around like halfway on my thighs, and I push him off again. He gets out of bed, he starts screaming and putting his socks and his clothes on. I'm terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I had told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out.
Several days later.
I was no way essayed at all, and me and the other guy are just friends, and nothing about that has changed or will change. I want that to be known. I didn't do anything with anyone that night, and I will never have OnlyFans.
Well, that's it for now, Fight Freaks. We're going to keep following this story and see if any other information comes out, but until then, thank you so much for watching this video, and a huge thanks to my live studio audience. Remix is signing out, but I'll return to bring my Fight Freaks their MMA fix.